team announced yesterday that he has sciatica on his right side and will be reevaluated in 3 to 4 weeks. Again, note that this is reevaluated, not playing in 3 to 4 weeks. And when asked when James could return, head coach J.J. Redick said, quote, he is on his own timeline. So LeBron will be missing his team season opener. This is a first for him in his career. His 22 team season openers played, they are the most in NBA history. As we say hello to our senior insider, Shams Charania, who's here with more insight. Shams, what more can you tell us about when this injury actually occurred?
Malika, my understanding is this injury for LeBron, this nerve issue, first occurred in late July, early August during an on-court workout. So it's now 2.5 months and counting that he's had to deal with it and manage it. So even before the Lakers media day on September 29th and the start of training camp, I'm told LeBron James had not done much basketball for well over a month prior to that. So it hasn't been a normal routine summer for him. He's a creature of habit. We know that, the way he maintains his body. So for him to be out to start the season and miss his first ever opening night, it shows an admission by him and the Lakers that he needs more time to ramp up, get into basketball shape, get into the right basketball conditioning that he is accustomed to. He's not there yet.
And that's concerning, right? When you hear that it's been 2.5 months that he's been dealing with this and still 3 to 4 weeks before even being reevaluated here. I want to bring in our injury expert here, Stefania Bell, into the conversation in the show. Stefania, can we just back up for 1 second? What is sciatica and how long could James be out here?
Sciatica really simply is irritation, inflammation, or compression of the sciatic nerve. It's all in the name. And the trick is trying to figure out what is the origin source of it, because there are many, many things that can cause sciatica. It can be caused by a problem up in the lumbar spine or low back, like a disc problem or inflammation that's irritating the nerve. It can be caused where the nerve passes through the hip muscles by compression or irritation there. And the sciatic nerve has this distribution where it passes through the glutes, down the hamstring, behind the knee, into the leg, and branches into the foot and toes. And you can really have pain, burning, numbness, tingling, whatever your particular symptoms are, anywhere along the pathway of that nerve. So wide range of presentations, wide range of resolutions in terms of time. For treatment, you can treat it conservatively with physical therapy. You're really trying to get the irritation and inflammation to settle down. More aggressively, sometimes an oral course of steroids or an epidural steroid injection if it is in fact associated with the spine. So again, quite the spectrum of possibilities depending on what the actual source is. And when you talk about time frames, it could be a couple weeks. Sometimes it's a few months, and sometimes it recurs.
Oh, and that is not good news right there. We don't know what exactly of LeBron James's, the symptoms that LeBron is experiencing, of all the symptoms that you just mentioned here. But I'm curious, Stefania, does age at all play a factor in this?
No one wants to hear that middle age is part of the problem. But in fact, LeBron's age does fit the pattern we typically see with this. You know, and in that 25 to 55, 60 range is where you most commonly experience something like sciatica. And, you know, he's right in that age pattern where that is going to be something that could crop up for him. And we know he's had some issues in the past, other orthopedic issues with the core, the glute. Maybe there's something going on with his low back. That would be normal. We call it age-related degenerative changes. And while that sounds drastic, it's just part of aging. And certainly as an athlete who's played at the level he has for years, you expect to see some age-related changes. So age not the only reason, but it can certainly impact why it's presenting and also how long it takes to recover.
Well, I'm looking at all of these high-flying highlights here of LeBron James, and I think, yes, you're saying all of these things are quote-unquote normal for this age group, but when you've seen someone perform at a superhuman level for so many years, it's still a little bit unnerving to hear about these issues that he's having as he's working to enter his 23rd season here. Stefania Bell, thank you so much for your time and explaining to us all of that here on NBA Today. If y'all are wondering what the Lakers look like with and without LeBron James, here it is. Since 2018-19, when he joined the Lakers, LA is 248 and 171 with LeBron James on the court. Off the court, 56 and 78. I take this with a grain of salt because remember, Luka wasn't here for a whole lot of those games. But now let's welcome in our senior writers, Brian Windhorst, NBA champ Kendrick Perkins, into this conversation. Brian, I'm going to start with you here. Just your reaction to seeing this news as well.
Let me deal with the elephant in the room, because I know I got a lot of text messages about this when the Lakers announced it. And I'm no Stefania Bell, but a 40-year-old who plays golf. People were asking me, was this a golf-related injury? Because LeBron played golf all summer, and sciatica is something that happens to golfers. Let me just point something out. For a golfer, a right-handed golfer, sciatica typically happens on your left side because that's where the torque is. That's where the turn is, although LeBron doesn't lead the league in making great turns, but he's getting better. He's getting better. So this is an injury that is related to basketball. But I want to point something out. LeBron has had an injury at the beginning of the summer. At the end of the Lakers season, he hurt his knee. He sprained his knee, and he was out for about 6 weeks recovering from that injury. So his entire summer of maintenance and ramp-up was off. And that is a factor. Not only as he deals with the sciatica, but he ramps up coming back, and that's why the Lakers want to take this carefully. The second thing is LeBron in his career has had disc issues in his back, and I'm not saying that's what leads to this sciatica. As Stefania said, there's a number of reasons that can lead to this, but several times in LeBron's career, he has had to have epidural shots, which Stefania detailed, to deal with lower back inflammation, and he has always recovered very well from them. So while this is certainly a blow to the Lakers' early season, I think there is a lot of reasons to go slow with LeBron, and the thing to remember, they don't need LeBron to be at his best in November and December. They need him after the new year into the spring.
We talk about Father Time all the time, and Father Time is here. We've heard LeBron talk about, hey, when the time is near, they're going to sit down with his family. He's even going to talk to the word love, right, and see if it's still there. But his body is saying, listen to me. This is what 3 straight years in a row that LeBron James has dealt with injuries that have kept him sidelined, maybe 4. His body is telling them, hey, I've been good to you. It's time for you to be good to me. It's time to shut it down. Not right now, but at the end of this season, I feel like this should be LeBron last season, and he should really retire after this season. It's nothing more for him to accomplish. He accomplished everything. He's probably the all-time leader in every single thing. He's in the GOAT conversation. He's 41 years of age, and his body right now is telling him, hey, brother, be good to me. I need it.
Well,
I need it. This is the Father Time coming
we're not
up.
used to not seeing LeBron be available for opening night. It's never happened in the 22 previous seasons, as we mentioned here. But, Wendy, I know he doesn't need to be at his best in November, but I think back to the conversation we had with Anthony Slater on the show yesterday about the Golden State Warriors and how this reminds him of their 2022 season, where they were perfect in preseason, and then they built this padding early on in the year in a tough Western Conference that allowed for bumps and bruises down the road. And that's what the Lakers now may not be afforded, is that sort of padding in a Western Conference that is incredibly tight, that is incredibly difficult without LeBron James here to start the season. So it's something we will monitor, and we'll certainly keep you updated.
That is a very
Go ahead, Brian.
That's a very fair point. You have 10 or 12 bad games in the Western Conference.
Right.
It can be the difference between having the 3 seed and being in the play-in. That is true. But the Lakers have a guy in their mid-20s who is an MVP candidate, Luka Dončić. Mm-hmm. This is a contract year for Austin Reeves. Those are their 2 primary ball handlers. That's something that they need. Those guys need to carry the load.
Absolutely, and that's what they're going to be saying.
And just to re-clarify here, 2.5 months and counting that he's been dealing with this nerve issue, and he's obviously trying to ramp up, trying to get back on the court. He just is not there yet.
Absolutely, and that's the biggest story in the NBA. Now, once he's back on the floor, he enters a record 23rd year. Plenty of milestones left on the board. He's just 2 3-pointers away from passing Reggie Miller for 6th all-time there. You can see LeBron can also move up into the top 3 in assists this year. 508 away from moving past Jason Kidd. That's a bar he's cleared 14 times in his career, and he can also become the all-time leader in